And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again another day committed to being your consumer advocate. It's all about making you a street smart consumer out here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We want to help you win in any marketplace. Save our hotline number in your phone at some point. You may need it. 813-670-7372. Bookmark our website, consumerqb.com. That's 813-670-7372. and consumerqb.com. We want to help you win in any marketplace. 80 categories of consumer advocate content and advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We got a great lineup for you today. Let's make our introductions here. We got Chris Hatfield, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thanks for having me on, Brandon. It's a little odd not being in studio today, but appreciate the platform to get my business's model out there.
Absolutely. Tampa Screens and Aluminum on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Also, we have memory and learning expert Matt DiMaio. Welcome back.
Well, thanks, Brandon. Always a pleasure to be here. And today I have got some fantastic tips for parents during quarantine. I've got some educational games to be able to work with kids that are being homeschooled.
Awesome. I like that. And on the second half of the show, we have Lauren Benzinger as well. She's an MMA fighter, ranked number 9 in the state of Florida. And also we have Larry Harbolt going to be on the show. He is a wealth of knowledge around real estate investing. He's an author as well and a real estate expert. So that's going to be rounding out the second half of our show. And this segment is brought to you by Two Maids and a Mop. The official cleaning partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show is Two Maids and a Mop right here out of Clearwater, Florida. And they do a great job cleaning our real estate properties. Not only do we trust them with our real estate listings, but also my home. They clean our home on a bi-weekly clean, and they do a great job. So what a great time to come in and disinfect and clean your property. If you do, reach out to Two Maids and a Mop. Speak to Tabitha over there at Two Maids and a Mop. Let her know that a real estate quarterback sent you so you can take them up on his special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we've got a couple of hot listings here in Tampa Bay. I want to let you know about a couple of commercial properties that we've got here. 19206 US Highway 19 in Clearwater. This is a freestanding building. It's on a corner lot on US 19, high traffic area, and it is operating currently as a car dealership. So we'd love to talk to you about our real estate listings here in Tampa Bay. 19206 US Highway 19 in Clearwater is a great buying opportunity here in Tampa Bay. It's a large parking lot, corner lot, 5 offices, reception, and a great opportunity for you to purchase commercial real estate and invest in your business right here in Tampa Bay. Also, check out 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. This is a freestanding office building in Town and Country, and you have 50,000 cars coming by daily, driving by daily. That's going to see your signage out by the road. It's got a beautiful conference room, a small kitchen, and lots of offices. So it's lots of parking, plenty of parking there at 8325 West Hillsborough Avenue in Tampa. Check out all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. Platinum MVP Team is a sponsor of the Consumer Quarterback Show as well. My wife, Lindsay, and I own and operate a top team here in Tampa Bay. We're buying houses cash also through Keller Offers. So if you would like a instant offer on your property, we are offering on properties through Keller Offers and other investor programs that we have as well. All right, let's jump into it. We've got Chris Hatfield, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. You've also heard from Fred Muth, a.k.a. the Tin Man, on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So we got Chris Hatfield here on the show today, and welcome back to the show, Chris.
Thanks for having me, Brandon. I wish it could have been under better terms, but we're going to stay hunkered down for a month or two, and then we're going to get back to bringing everybody those beautiful pool enclosures.
That's right. So the COVID virus has affected your business. Are you guys still doing some installations? I know Fred was talking about keeping 10 feet or so from the clients if they do want to have a talk with you. How are you guys facing it?
Luckily, as a company, any type of installation that we need to do, we're on the back of the house. We don't need to come inside the house for any reason for the installation methods. And so as salesmen, we've had to adopt that in the same right, where we don't need to go inside of a customer's house for any reason. What I've been doing is contacting my customers about 5 to 10 minutes before our scheduled appointment, and I ask them to go ahead and open up their back slider, open up the fence for me, anything that they would have touched, to go ahead and touch that and go ahead and open it up. I beat my horn when I pull up out front, and I can walk out and do the assessment via the back without having to impede on anybody's social distance. But all of our construction that we're currently doing is with limited interaction with the homeowner anyway. It's usually on the back, the sides, or the front of the house. So we don't need to enter somebody else's house. So it's something that we're just making a little bit of adaptations as we go, and we'll get by for the time.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a great opportunity for homeowners to add value to their home by employing a screened lanai, a patio lanai, a pool cage. And some of the new designs as well, I think, have come a long way with some of the engineering, Chris.
And no matter how you look at market fluctuations or this, that, and the other, things go down, things go back up. I'm not hearing anything that they've all of a sudden built 100,000 houses in Tampa. So we still have a deficiency in the market. So anytime somebody can get into a house, get things done on it, and get it back on the market so that it can sell, that's good for the area, good for the market, good for everything. And we happen to be an essential part of that business. People need to have screen rooms. People need to have some form of outside entertainment area. And then we also have pools. If somebody has got a house under construction or a pool under construction, it can't pass its final permit until it has an enclosure over it. So that does deem us essential because of the fact that we need to get these things on there so that they can finalize that to the home builder, so that anybody else can move on to the next phase with a passed inspection.
Yeah, absolutely. It makes a lot of sense, and it adds value onto the home. A lot of times we talk about real estate values and what's happening in the local economy, talking about Tampa Bay, the Gulf Coast region of Florida, all the way down to Fort Myers, Naples. And the West Coast is the best coast when it comes to Florida real estate. You've got increasing values, low inventory still, so it's a great time to be both a seller and a buyer. But when you look at the ability to add these types of add-ons to your home, these improvements, it's a smart money move because you're going to be investing in your asset that is going to appreciate, Chris.
Correct. And I mean, that's the thing, is that everybody that's looking to put something on the back of their house, it's not just because they're looking to blow money. They're looking to do something that they're going to be able to enjoy, to give them a better peace of mind, everything like that. It's more of, like I said, it's something that they can go out and enjoy. But then beyond that, the people that are looking to market that investment, people that are looking to sell that investment, they know that when people go outside, when people see the pictures of everything, they want to have some form of a little screen room outside, whether minuscule or grandiose, whether it's one house or the next. If you go into one and it has no form of patio, it's just the back of the house and grass, versus some type of outdoor oasis, the mind is going to be skewed toward the house that has something better to offer on the back. And that's something that Tampa Screens and Aluminum can definitely offer with our outdoor enclosures.
Yeah, and from a real estate perspective, a value perspective, it's definitely adding on value to that appraised value. And a lot of times people can access a home equity line of credit to pay for those types of improvements. And if you just joined us, we're talking with Chris Hatfield with Tampa Screens and Aluminum here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. I'm your host, Brandon Rhymes. And Chris, when you look at the boom that we've seen in real estate, the low inventory of, yes, we're in somewhat of a temporary pullback right now. This is an industry that is proven to be a strong indicator as well in the real estate market.
Oh, absolutely. It's something that, while we may be dealing with, this is normally the busiest time of the year for us, because when people get their tax returns, then they're sitting on a little bit of an extra chunk of change.
Right.
These screen rooms and enclosures, they're not cheap. I'm not going to go ahead and say that they are cheap, but you do get your money back for them. So when people are looking at spending in this time, they're looking at taking that big chunk that they have. But additional people that don't have that chunk to be able to spend right now, they can go to such financiers as Green Sky Financial and other different home improvement investors. And this is something that you can easily say, I need to do this because of this. This is something that not only adds value to my home, but it's going to give me, somewhere to go out and do something. I'm going to use it for gardening. I'm going to use it for this, that, and the other. The fact that you can tell a lender exactly what you're going to do with it, and then they see how much bang they get for their buck with aluminum construction, it's 9 times out of 10 an open and shut case. So long as you have the credit, they're going to give it to you because it's just something that goes on the back of every Florida home.
Yeah, it just completes the home. It gives you that in-between space, kind of, it's not under the AC. You want to go outside. You want to kind of defrost. Sometimes you feel like you want to defrost from the inside, the cold air on the inside of the home. And then you go outside and you don't want to be attacked by mosquitoes. You want to have that cool area with the shades. You're blocked from the sun, and you got maybe some ceiling fans running, turning out there, and you got your pool, your hot tub, your lanai area. And so it makes it such a beautiful place to hang out on the real estate properties, and it's of course adding value, and it's going to make your property that much more desirable, all things else equal. So hey, I want to thank Chris Hatfield. Thanks for tuning into the show today, bud, and Tampa Screens and Aluminum, and we appreciate you.
Thanks, Brandon. Appreciate it. Anytime, I'd be happy to come back and talk with you, and hopefully next time it's in the studio.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Take care, man. Talk to you soon.
Have a good one. Go Bucks. Go Bolts.
Yeah, that's right. So we've got Chris Hatfield, Tampa Screens and Aluminum, longtime friend of the program. You got Matt DiMaio coming up. He's a memory and learning expert. You're going to want to learn from him some of his strategies and techniques. So stay with us. We're going to talk with him about how he's teaching people how to learn faster, smarter, faster here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Stay with us. We'll be right back after the short break.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
This is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it's Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Benzinger Star.
62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance, Joe's Bar and Grill. But actually, it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember anymore. Ask me about Florence Law.
Yes.
To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay. Welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Beckles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left-hand white, and then they catch the left-hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50-plus show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to.
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. I've got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that name because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. Mm-hmm. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
And we're back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show here in Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region of Florida. Your number one consumer advocate program. Former USF football player, played on the inaugural football team for the USF Bulls. And now we have a different game that we're playing. We're quarterbacking a different game. It's more about being a consumer advocate for our listeners, our viewers, of course, our radio and TV show family, plus our buyers, sellers, and investors with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We want to work as your quarterback and lead you to a successful closing, a successful transaction, or even a real estate career. If you're in the business, we would love to talk to you about joining our team. We utilize our radio and TV show to feature our listings, feature our agents, and it gives us a very unique advantage when it comes to listing properties, because we're going to feature our properties right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, which broadcasts daily 4 o'clock drive time on AM 860 The Answer, which is on the FM translator at 93.7 FM. Weekend show on FM 102.5 The Bone, one of the largest signals in the state, going all the way down to Fort Myers, Naples. And we also syndicate our content through WeBeam TV and Binge Networks over to Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, and 85 other smart television outlets. Of course, you can find our iTunes podcast out there as well on SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, as well as on YouTube. Tons of videos on YouTube. I think we have over 1,000 videos now on YouTube, and it's all about delivering content for you, our listeners, and our viewers of our show here. We'd love to help you win in any marketplace. 80 categories of consumer advocate content and advice, attorneys, CPAs, financial advisors, all types of home services, self-defense, and lots of other expert contributors here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. But it's up to you to reach out. We'd love to connect with you on our hotline, 813-670-7372. You can call or text that number anytime, and we would love to help you with those connections to our 50-plus show partners here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, we got a cash-flowing car wash available here in Tampa Bay. It's on Betty Lane in Clearwater. Now, this property, it's a cash cow. It's generating a lot of income, and it's passive income on North Betty Lane in Clearwater. Clearwater Car Wash, 1410 North Betty Lane, right here in Tampa Bay. The owner is just getting up in age and says he just wants to sell it. He only puts 2 hours of work in, and it's selling at $170,000. So a great buying opportunity here in Tampa Bay at North Betty Lane Car Wash here in Tampa, Clearwater. 260 Lyndhurst Street in Dunedin. This is a beautiful property. It's close to the Fenway. You can walk to dinner over at the Fenway or walk over for drinks, happy hour. 260 Lyndhurst Street in Tampa. Large home. You got an income producing property as well with a mother-in-law suite as well. And the waterway is literally at the end of the block. So you've got gorgeous views. Take in that sunset here over at Lyndhurst Street in Dunedin. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com. Check out PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com. And this segment is brought to you by Replenish IV Solutions, the science of nutritional balance. Say hello to our friends Stephen and Lisa Gunnan over at Replenish IV Solutions. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you so you can take them up on special offers and incentives. But it's the science of nutritional balance. What you're doing is they're making house calls right now as well. So they will come to your home or your office, and they're going to deliver these IV drips, so it's going directly into your bloodstream. They've got the Myers cocktail, which is one of the most famous, but lots of different energy boosters, amino acids injections. So reach out to Replenish IV Solutions. Let them know that the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. All right, so now we got Matt DiMaio here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Matt is a wealth of knowledge and has really developed such an awesome presence on YouTube. He's got over 56,000 subscribers on YouTube, and he has his number one video has 2.4 million views now. 2.4 million views on his videos on his YouTube channel. Be Smarter Faster is his YouTube channel, and startremembering.com. Welcome back to the show, Matt.
Well, you know, we live in a world of information overload now more than ever before. And Brandon, I always appreciate you having me back. And so what I've been doing is teaching people strategies, tricks, mental techniques to be able to increase their focus, help develop better powers of concentration, awareness. That's something that almost nobody teaches. And how to develop a strong memory. Now, when you use those things, you're able to make more money, get better grades if you're in school. You're able to raise smarter children, and you can enjoy a happier and healthier life now more than ever before. And so I created a bunch of free tools to be able to spread the good news to people so they don't have to go out and buy anything in terms of at this difficult time when everybody's confused regarding the whole quarantine situation and parents are dealing with problems of having kids at home to homeschool that they've never had this situation before. So here's a couple of recommendations that I've got real quick, and then Brandon, I'll let you ask me a few questions. But first of all, I do not recommend that parents try to do the exact same thing that the kids might get when they're a student in school. Instead of using the same textbooks and trying to teach the same lessons, what I've done is I've developed some fun educational games that teach kids how to learn. See, school is really good at teaching you what to learn, but it's my thought that they're not really that great at teaching people how to learn it. And so I've developed a few games that I've been publishing now on my YouTube channel, Be Smarter, Faster, that gives parents and kids the opportunity to bond together, to have some fun, to share a few laughs at the same time, be able to help the children with their overall ability to learn everything and anything faster and better.
Yeah, that's awesome. If you just joined us, we're talking with Matt DiMaio here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. He's known as a memory expert and a learning expert here. And now more than ever, more children are at home. The parents are being added onto their workload with being, put in charge of being the homeschool teacher now. And I saw a funny post online. It said something to the effect of, my kids are asking me if they have to have the same teacher next year. But Matt, you have some great content. I actually gave my daughter an assignment. I said, watch this video, one of Matt's videos, and I said, I want you to watch this video and give me an old school book report. And she did it. She wrote down, here's what the topic was, here's the 5 steps, and your videos are organized. They're eloquently put together and very, very, easy to understand. So I commend you on that. And also your game that you mentioned where you're outside, for example, we were on the boat. We've been spending more and more time on Freedom Boat Club now and with this downtime, and we were on the boat. So we did the top 20 with your game that you teach about outdoors. So we said, what's the top 20 things that you might see on the lake? So we went through the birds, the boats, the docks, the houses, etc. So as you know, the game it was a challenging game because when you get to 17 and 18, it's like, wow, what were these things? So you're making yourself remember all of those things, right, Matt?
I am so pleased to hear you talk about how you're actually applying the ideas. But quite frankly, that does not surprise me about you. But the idea is to put these ideas into action. So today, I've published the 4th in my series called Educational Games for Kids Being Homeschooled, Tips for Parents During Quarantine. So the game you were referring to, top 20, is in part 1. And you're absolutely right. Now, the games that I give to parents are not board games. You don't have to go out and buy stuff. You don't need any special equipment. These are things that you can sit and talk about. And the cool part is, like you were saying, Brandon, you can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
You were doing it on the boat. And, when I first began to develop these games for my own small daughter, she's now 19 and was a freshman at FSU until they canceled classes for the remainder of the year. So she's doing what she can online and stuff. But I developed a lot of the techniques and theory that I've created over the decades. For years, I would train salespeople because salespeople, the process of selling is, the transference of information. It's learning and teaching and learning and teaching. And so the whole science of persuasion, product knowledge, being able to speak well, organize your thoughts. So I was teaching a lot of this stuff primarily to sales organizations to help them make money. Then later in life, I decided I wanted to go back to my roots and begin to use these things to benefit society at large. So when I hear you, Brandon, talk about how you and Braylon are having fun with the game, that really lights me up. I've got subscribers from all over the world that now send me messages telling me how they were able to graduate college because of what I learned. I have one young man from India that just sent me a notice that he said, I watched your video, How to Absorb Textbooks Like a Sponge, 2 years ago in March. I was skeptical. I didn't think it would work. And here in April of 2020, 2 years later, he's still able to remember all the content. And so when I get messages like that, literally from people that I will never meet, that makes me feel like I'm really doing something really good for the betterment of mankind out there.
Absolutely.
I have a quick game to teach if anybody's interested.
We got 1 minute left, Matt. If you can do it in 1 minute, or if not, you might want to give your information on how they can reach you.
Well, if people go to my YouTube channel, it's youtube.com/Be Smarter Faster. You'll see a whole series of games. As a matter of fact, just a little while ago today, I published episode number 4. So the information is up there. It's for free. I've got information about studying textbooks, how to recall what you study, how to read faster than ever before. And I've got a free report for those of you that want to be able to triple your memory power without any fancy tricks or tips. Go to startremembering.com.
Nice. Good stuff.
Startremembering.com.
And as part of your legacy, I know that's what you said was big goal of yours, to build your legacy through these channels. Be Smarter Faster, startremembering.com, my friend Matt DiMaio. Thanks so much for being on the
Brandon.
show. And we'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
All right, this week we're going to talk about something exciting as usual.
We always have something exciting.
Yes, we do.
At least it's exciting to us.
But this is a question that comes up.
TV, hey, it is Friday night. We're not here. Yes, we pre-recorded once again because WeBeam TV is working over in Tampa with Benzinger Star.
The 62 Who Knew. I almost said Professional Mortgage Alliance Joe's Bar and Grill, but actually it's our 39th week. 62 Who Knew.
We're at the wonderful steampunk event at the Verizon Event Center here in 2019. I think it's still August, right? Yeah. Woo! Can't remember. Ask to me about flooring law.
Yes. To be able to help businesses to do that part of it. But it's just been a couple of years.
Well, and I've taken the business card files from our business cards and made
Entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay, welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections
Ian
for
Backles on Radio Influence.
Or you say left hand white, and then they catch the left hand white. What it does, it helps you quick with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
Well, that's kind
as your super connector. We want to introduce you to our 50+ show partners. We got over 80 categories of expert contributor advice here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we want to
That's where we disagree, but that's okay.
I said nonviolent.
That's okay.
Because, we're one of the only states that don't give them back the right. Got Jamie Limbaugh. He is from the Next Step Image. I love that image because you were telling me earlier.
For the type of republic we actually are is actually very correct. Yet politicians and regular people use these words interchangeably, even though technically they are very different.
If you're an overdoer, overachiever, people pleaser, we tend to neglect ourselves. And even as Sisters Connected here, with Women Unscripted, I know
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. We help our sellers profit more on the sale of their real estate properties by featuring them live on air on our daily radio and TV show, syndicated in 85 outlets across the entire world here through Apple, Amazon, Roku, WeBeam TV, through Binge Networks. You can find us on your smart television outlets, as well as 4 o'clock drive time on AM 860 The Answer, which is FM translator of 93.7 FM, and a weekend show on FM 102.5 The Bone. We'd love to connect with you as well. A big part of our show is being engaging with our listening audience. So reach out to our hotline at 813-670-7372. 813-670-7372. Also, bookmark our website, consumerqb.com, where you can see links to all of our expert contributors, the finest folks in all of Tampa Bay and the Gulf Coast region that we've assembled and we vetted to bring on the show to serve as a consumer advocate, to make you just a bit more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, this segment is brought to you by Golf Cart Depot of Tampa Bay. Say hello to Marty and his team over at Golf Cart Depot. They've got Clearwater location, Land O'Lakes location, and right now they will bring the golf cart to you. They're going to put it on a truck, bring it to your office or your home, wherever you want to test drive it, and let you test drive a golf cart at your convenience. And they hooked me up with a beautiful Keller Williams red golf cart, which I use for commercial and personal use, and it is gorgeous. It's a beautiful golf cart. It's an easy go. They have Cushman, Star, EV, and you can see the pictures of mine there I've got the wraps now on it from Bob Burmaster at Image 360. Big shout out to Bob and his team. They got me hooked up with the wraps, Keller Williams Realty Consumer Quarterback Show wraps on my golf cart, which I utilize for door knocking in my neighborhood. Reach out to Golf Cart Depot. Let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we've got a couple of hot properties here in Tampa Bay that I want to let you know about here on the show. Let's talk about 5402 Swallow Drive. This is a property that the owner is motivated. She wants to make a deal, and it's in Land O'Lakes. 5402 Swallow Drive, Land O'Lakes. You've got a 4-bedroom, 2-bath property, 2,500 square feet, and it's got that quiet country feel that you get over in Land O'Lakes. Check it out online as well. We also have 1924 Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Tampa. This is a commercial asset with 2 lots side by side at 1924 MLK in Tampa Bay. Check out all of our listings at PlatinumMVPTeam.com, PlatinumMVPTeam.kw.com, and we would love to talk to you whether you're buying, selling, or investing. We also have the Keller Offers program where we have instant offers for your property as well. So we've got a new lineup here for you for our next segment. Let's go to the phones here. Larry Harbolt, give us a quick introduction, Larry, what we're going to talk about today. Larry is a longtime friend of the program. He's an author and an educator. He's an instructor in real estate investing. So welcome to the show, Larry.
No, thank you for having me on.
My pleasure. Give us a quick overview, and then I'm going to introduce our other guest in studio here. Give us an interview of what we're going to intro of what we're going to talk about, living on the edge financially.
Yeah, I believe that there's a lot of people today that are living on the edge financially, and with this stay-home order and the not ability to work, it's going to cause some crisis in some people's lives. And I wanted to go over some of the things I think that people can do to help them not be in the same crisis as the general public.
Nice. Okay, awesome. So more from Larry in just a quick minute. I want to introduce Lauren Benzinger in studio, MMA fighter, number 9 ranked in the state of Florida. Welcome to the show.
Yes, it is very, very good to be on the show. I am a current number 9 professional female ranked athlete. I am also a 5-time state champion in karate, 2-time world champion in karate, and a USA Taekwondo silver medalist, as well as a 2015 World University Games team member. So it's a pleasure to be on the show. I'm taking some time off right now to rehab my knee and get surgery. So I'm inspiring athletes that are struggling mentally and physically and trying to overcome obstacles and barriers. That'll reciprocate towards my energy pushing through my surgery. And it's really something that I'm motivated on doing right now, especially with this pandemic occurring. You know, we don't have gyms. We don't really have that outlet, that sanctuary that just brings us to life. And, you know, I'm here to inspire and I'm here to uplift. And I'm very, very happy to be able to do so.
Nice. All right, good stuff. So more from Lauren coming up in our next segment, but we're going to go back to the phones here. We got Larry Harbolt, who has a wealth of information in the business of real estate investing. So, Larry, what are you seeing out there, man? What's happening right now? What's the current pulse of the market?
Well, I'm not seeing any major changes as of yet. But what my fear is, if people aren't going to be able to make their payments, that's when the fear and the crisis is going to hit. Because even if they get money from the government, it's not going to be enough to sustain all of their bills, especially if there are people that are so overextended financially now that it's going to be a real problem for them. So the point is, if they can't prepare for this disaster that's happening, you know, I think there are some things that they should realize that might help them get through it if they do come into that situation. Because I think there's going to be a lot of people in that same boat.
Yeah, there will be. And what about your classes? Are you still doing your educational classes?
I am. I am doing the real estate trainings for investors that want to do things a little bit differently and at least look at things differently, because there is so much opportunity there.
There is.
And it doesn't matter what the market conditions are, there's still a tremendous amount of opportunity for everybody. It's just a matter of knowing what to look for and how to deal with it once you find it.
That's right. Yeah, we're talking with Larry Harbolt here. He's an author. He's a podcaster as well on the Consumer Quarterback Show. So talk to us. Give us some examples. Over the past few interviews on the show, you've given us some interesting insights into your world in terms of real estate investing and how you might work with sellers. Give us a couple of nuggets here, Larry.
Well, my business is I basically deal with sellers. I don't normally go through real estate agents, for the simple reason, when I started 40 years ago, I had no money, I had no credit. And so my only choice was to go to the seller, talk to the seller, and pay the seller every month for 10, 20, or 30 years. And that's what I created my business on. And today, even though I could go to a bank, I see no reason to, because I have perfected sitting and talking to people, overcoming their fears and their objections on how I can pay them and give them a much better return than if they got all cash and then lose a large chunk of it to taxes in some cases. So it depends on what the seller wants. It's between the seller and I. What we can agree to, it has nothing to do with market conditions, for the simple reason, when you deal with a bank or a financial institution, they're going to tell you how much you can pay for that property based on an appraisal. They're going to tell you how long of a payback period you're going to have. They're going to tell you what the interest rate is, and they're going to tell you what the payment is. When I deal with the seller, none of that matters, because it's whatever the seller and I can agree on. I can give them a higher price, a lower payment, a higher interest rate. I can stretch out the payback period. We can do anything needed to make the deal work for both of us, to where they feel comfortable and I am in the deal because I'm in the deal to make money. There's no reason to do it if you're not going to do it to make money. That's my business. That's how I feed my family.
Yeah. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So, Larry, when you think about some of the courses that you offer, I want to talk about that as well, because you've got some great courses out there. Do you also, so you're talking mainly about single-family residential properties, or are you also doing commercial and other types of investments as well?
Well, what I teach works on any type of property. You know, it doesn't matter what it is. There are a lot of people. Let me give you an example. A friend of mine's trying to buy a little strip center that has 7 units in it. The owner is 83 years old and does not want cash because he doesn't want to take the tax hit.
Nice.
So I'm helping my student negotiate that deal, and we're going to end up with a good property, because we can give them their price if they will give us the terms that will allow us to make a profit every month, because my student plans to rent the 7 units out and keep them rented. But price is less relative. It is paid for. Price is less relative if you can get a payment that will allow you to make a cash flow every month.
Right.
And if we can get a payment low enough, we can give them a higher price if we can get a lower payment. And then my student can fix up the units and get a higher rent to build in his cash flow. It's that simple. But the owner does not want to get killed in taxes. And so we have to take that into consideration when we negotiate with them.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like the Kiyosaki model with assets and liabilities, income versus expenses. So if you're able to cash flow a property, that's the king, is a cash flow. Now, have you ever dealt with car washes, Larry? I've got a car wash in Clearwater that's cash flowing. You ever have any experience with car washes?
I have not, but it's all based on numbers.
Yeah.
You know, at every deal, the only thing that matters are the numbers of the deal, not a potential, but the numbers of what the deal or the property does. And that's what you got to base your buying offer on, because if you're not going to make money, why are you buying it?
Yeah, the price is a little bit less important than the terms. If you can get the right terms, in other words, then you can make the price work. So, Larry Harbolt, thanks so much for hanging out with us here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and we hope to catch up with you once this whole virus stuff is over with. Larry Harbolt, Real Estate Education, also the Real Deal Podcast. You can find him out here on the Real Deal Podcast as well. So, Larry, thanks so much, man. We appreciate you.
Hey, thanks for having me on. Good luck to everyone.
Thank you so much. And more from Lauren Benzinger coming up here in studio, MMA fighter in studio for our last segment. And we'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere. And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here. I'm your host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, powered by the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. My wife Lindsay and I own and operate a top team. We've got 15 agents in the area here, and we are looking to recruit more agents. We're actually interviewing right now for full-time agents. If you're looking to grow your business, grow your career, we would love to talk to you. Check out platinummvpteam.kw.com for more information about our real estate business. Also, a couple of hot listings here in Tampa Bay. We've got 0 Harbor Drive in Clearwater. We've got 2 vacant land lots side by side with bay access, waterfront lots in Tampa Bay, in Clearwater, one of the hottest cities in all of Tampa Bay here, for opportunity to build either single-family homes or up to 9 units. Think about that from a builder investor standpoint. You can build 9 units on this property at 0 Harbor Drive in Clearwater. We also have 4214 Peaceful Lane in Land O Lakes. This is a property that has 8 units available, 5 of which are on waterfront on Bell Lake in Land O Lakes. Great opportunity for a builder, developer here in Tampa Bay at 4214 Peaceful Lane up in Land O Lakes. The owner's motivated. The property's listed at just over $1 million. So reach out and check out our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. platinummvpteam.com. And also giving a shout out to the Bilmar Beach Resort over on Treasure Island. Clyde Smith is the general manager for our hotel partner on the beach. And yes, they're still open. They're over at the Bilmar Beach Resort there. They're cleaning the rooms stringent to the CDC guidelines, and they are offering the rooms now as well right here locally. Check them out. Let them know they're still on open and available. 2 pools on site. You got the beach there, Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant on site during these difficult times. And yes, they are open. Check out the Bilmar Beach Resort. Let them know that the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, and take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, every day we're going to tell you something positive here in our feel-good story of the day. This is a story out of Spain. It's a hospital cleaning staff surprised with moving round of applause. So healthcare staff in a hospital in Spain thanked the cleaning crew with a round of applause for their hard work during the coronavirus pandemic. Barcelona's hospital St. Joan de Pau also posted on Twitter, "Today, we want to thank the cleaning, security, kitchen, infrastructure staff that is all non-healthcare professionals who continue to perform their tasks with exceptional circumstances due to COVID-19, the hospital wrote, with the healthcare workers being applauded in the streets around the world. It's just important to acknowledge the non-medical staff bravery. So, yeah, big shout out to all of our cleaning staffs here in the States, in the United States, in Florida, in Tampa Bay. Huge shout out to our cleaning staff at the hospitals, doctors, of course, nurses, paramedics, first responders working overtime right now. So all these affected, of course, first responders, military as well, veterans, big shout out to all of them. And we do offer discounts for all those folks mentioned if they do a deal with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. So big shout out, and we want to thank them as well for that. All right, we're in studio here. We got Lauren Benzinger in studio, MMA fighter. You want to talk about mindset here today and some uplifting and inspiring information for our viewers out there.
Yes, so I have a Benzinger inspirational speaking campaign that I am currently launching, and we are uplifting athletes who are struggling physically and mentally during this time. With this pandemic going on, we are not able to go to gyms and go to our outlet and sanctuary that brings peace to our minds. And right now I'm using a lot of verbal enhancement towards your physical and mental needs as an athlete, as well as my company's helping out with that as well. And it's really, really important during this time to keep yourself motivated and keep yourself structured on a day-to-day schedule. You have to have structure, you have to have a schedule, so you do not allow yourself to get slumped, which means an unmotivated state of anything goes. As an athlete, as a competitor, you have to stay motivated, you have to stay structured, you have to stay focused. That is rule number 1. No athlete ever made it without a process and without a system. The system is key to your success, so you must have a system. And just because there are not indoor gyms available doesn't mean you don't own a garage. create your own workout plan. Put in the same amount of hours as you would at the gym. I recommend 2 to 3 hours a day of working out and stretching. Stretching relieves anxiety and relieves stress. That is super crucial. So I recommend a daily regimen and diet. Diet comes crucial to this as well. If you start letting yourself eat bad, create bad eating habits, you feel that you've ate bad. You eat how you feel. If you supply yourself with well-rounded food, then you run like a well-oiled machine. That is how it works. So you must supply yourself accordingly as an athlete. You must work out accordingly as an athlete, and you must stay structured on a day-to-day basis.
So Lauren, let me interject here. So those are good ideas. How not everybody's going to be as motivated as you are. Okay, you are a powerhouse. You're so what would be maybe some kind of a Cliff Notes version on how people can start from a beginning standpoint, or maybe somebody that's not as disciplined. The power of self-discipline, right? The ability to make yourself do what you should do, whether you feel like it or not. What would be some steps there that people could take?
Well, motivation to me is more like ambition, and that's where motivational speaking comes in. Inspirational speaking is something that I've actually generated and created. Inspiration comes from something deep within. It comes from your hard work ethic. Whatever work you've put into any department of your life, bring out that same work ethic into reviving yourself to be physically healthy, to be mentally healthy, because no one can ever take your work ethic from you. That is 100% the realization here. The amount of hard work you put into something is what you owe yourself and what you can never, ever lose. So as a regular human being, and not just as an athlete, work ethic is something that you have to practice every single day. And that generates into every department of your life on the flip side. So that's very, very important.
Here's one, too, that I would say as well. By the way, if you just joined us, we're talking with Lauren Benzinger. She's the number 9th ranked MMA fighter in the state of Florida, and successful in that venture as well. And she's got a great background in terms of championships that she's won. One of the biggest things, I think, is just starting off with the first decision of the day. So let's say you set a goal and you say, hey, I'm going to start waking up a half an hour earlier, because that's a lot of people's excuse. Oh, I don't have time, right? So if you say, okay, instead of waking up at 7, I'm going to wake up at 6:30, and you decide, okay, am I going to hit that snooze button or not, right? So I think it's the small decisions first thing in the day. No, I'm getting out of bed, plus my shoes, my running shoes are already there, my workout shoes, my outfit's laid out. Setting up yourself to fail versus setting yourself up to succeed, right?
Absolutely. You have to start your day off on a good note. You must. It creates success for the rest of the day. Meditation is something that could come in handy during this time.
Yeah.
Studying motivational speakers and how they've brought themselves up from a struggle, which comes from something deep inside of them, just like you have something deep inside of you. That's very important. Okay. So motivational speaking, do your studies, gain knowledge on how you can bring that work ethic to life. Because when you work hard, you feel like you owe yourself something for that.
Right.
And that keeps you going. That keeps pushing you. And nobody can take that away.
Yeah, I like that. And then also, I've heard it said too, when you look at goal setting in the beginning of the year, people always set these advanced goals, and they say, "Oh, I'm gonna climb Mount Everest in a year." Not physically, but in their mind. And then when you think about it, we sometimes overestimate what we can accomplish in a year, but we significantly underestimate what we can accomplish in 5 years. When we look at that 5-year plan. So have you ever looked back in your career or your life, and this is for everyone out there, what's something that you have in your life now that you thought, wow, that would be nice if I could have it? For example, with my radio show, my talk show here, or my business, or our waterfront home, you think about those things and you have those in your life. So that should build your self-concept and your self-awareness. And then you got to look at, doing it over and over and repeating that pattern.
Absolutely. Repetition is ultimately what builds you. Repetition is what you actually habitually reside to. that is what it is about. If you do something over and over again, it becomes a habit. And we as humans are creatures of habit.
Yeah.
So it's really important, as I said, to stay structured, stay on a daily basis of doing this and that, work out, eat healthy, and keep yourself motivated. You have to have a structure. You have to have a system. That is the key to success, 100%.
Yeah, repetition is the mother of all skill. The more that you do something, the better you're going to get, right? It's like babies that are standing up for the first time trying to walk. They fall down. Oh, no, you're never going to be a walker. Stop doing it, right? That's the best example of that. So anything that you try for the first time, you're not going to be great at it. So get on the phones. If you're in sales, get on the phone. Make those calls. Make those sales calls. And you're going to get shot down, but you're still going to have on the opposite side of a no is going to be a yes. So you just got to put those numbers up. It all comes down to being a math equation when you're in sales. The more times at bat, the more opportunities you're going to have. So that's similar to working out and getting in shape for a fight or for your life.
Yeah, 100%. And the workout aspect of it, working out makes you feel better. It releases endorphins. It boosts your serotonin. And that's really, really important as a human being, not just as an athlete. So physical activity actually impacts you as a living person, chemically balanced. And those are the facts. So you have to exercise that. If you're physically more capable to work out, you're going to be physically more capable in every other area of your life.
That's right. I like it. All right, Lauren Benzinger, thanks so much for coming in. MMA fighter.
Thank you, sir.
Check her out. She's rehabbing, but she's going to be fighting again once this whole virus stuff's past us. Well, as we always say on the show, we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Lots of ways that you can be a force for good in the community. Do something kind for one another. If you see a neighbor struggling, especially an older neighbor, you might want to help them with their groceries or help them cut their lawn. Lots of ways that you can be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online at Brandon Rhymes1 on Instagram and Twitter. Check out the Consumer Quarterback Show page on Facebook, and we can link up on LinkedIn as well. We'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, consumerqb.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.